You're entering the future-ready CNBC TV18 EBIX Cash Studio.
Welcome back. So the next company on our radar is Escorts, and Escorts posted a weak second quarter, which was pretty much in line with estimates. The margins, of course, are a pressure point here as well. There was a dip of 580 basis points over the last year owing to high raw material prices. Also, tractor volumes have been under pressure. So is some of this changing in the third quarter and the fourth quarter? Let's ask Mr. Bharat Madan, Group CFO at Escorts. Thank you, Mr. Madan, for joining in. Season's greetings to you, first of all. The volume question first up. What are the third quarter trends saying? Is there any pickup?
Hi, good morning, Chalvi, and a very happy Diwali to the entire CNBC TV18 too from our side.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think you're seeing the numbers for Escorts for October. So obviously you're seeing a pickup has happened in the retail numbers in October as expected. So since we know July and August had a bad season in this rainfall, and you had a in-between gap of almost 2 to 3 weeks in both the months. So that delayed the entire sowing, and that's resulting into the delayed harvesting of the crop cycle now. So which means it's in a way good that you'll have an extended season now, which will probably go beyond Diwali. Normally you used to end the season by the Diwali used to end. But this time looks like the retail season should continue and post Diwali, so which is a good month. So we like to that, but should also have a good retail sales numbers coming in.
Mr. Madan, I also want to talk a little bit about the quarter gone by, because over there we've noticed that your tractor market share has fallen. In fact, in your presentation you did mention that you lost about 83 basis points year on year in the domestic tractor market share, which stands at 9% right now. Can you tell us, are you doing anything to sort of offset that pressure, and what are you targeting as domestic market share by the end of the year?
Yes, so like I mentioned, since there's a delay in the season, so obviously the festive season had to start in October. So the company decided not to do any push of the inventory in the channel in September, which is what you saw, and the wholesale numbers actually went down in that quarter. But really the 6 months number from April to September don't show much decline. It's about 30 basis point decline in the market share. And there's normally in these 6 months, market share for Escorts historically remains slightly low. But the next 6 months typically, give a good number in terms of the market share. So we expect the market share should revive now in the next 6 months, which is a rabi season months, which is good season for our stock market. And otherwise also I should look at the first 6 months, and this is a state-wise share I should look at it. Out of the 16 states, we gained market share in 13 states. There's only 3 states where we actually mildly dropped the market share, so which also we expect should get made up in the balance of the 6 months. So don't see really a concern, but yes, there's some skewness which has happened this time. The growth has been very strong in our weaker and opportunity market, especially the southern investment market, and the north has been under pressure. Where we have been is very strong there. So that really led to some decline. There's about half 50 basis point change because of the geographical mix which has happened this time, because there's skewness of the rainfall. Otherwise, we expect, I think, in the normal course, we expect it should come back to the normal course.
Just before we get back to this whole discussion about demand and margins, etc., I have to, put these rumors to rest about what's happening with Kubota. Are they looking to raise their stake in Escorts at any point in time? Is it going to happen in the next 6 months itself? Because they were very optimistic on the India business when they had that analyst call recently, a couple of months ago. So can you give us some clarity on what's happening with Kubota, and anything in the pipeline at all?
So Sonia, we had already clarified, I think, to the South India also, and I think in this channel also, I think a month or 2 months back. So these are speculation. Obviously, we don't want to comment the speculations, but Kubota remains bullish on Indian market, and we see that happening in the joint ventures which we have with them, and they're quite strong. The volumes are coming very well, and both the JVs, the production JV and the extra one has also started production, and Escorts production will also start now, probably at full pace by Q4 of this year. And sales JV as it is doing well, both on the implement side as well as the tractor side. So the numbers look strong. So obviously the bullishness on India obviously is there.
Okay, Mr. Madan, so coming back to the question of margins, now how will this be dealt with? Can you tell us to what extent have you hiked prices already so far in the third quarter? And do you think the market has the elasticity to absorb more price hikes to mitigate the pressure?
Yes, so inflation has been one of the concern area for us, unfortunately, and it's an unprecedented inflation we have seen in the last 1 year or so. And we've taken 3 price hikes already, till last quarter. and still we're carrying a lag for still backlog which needs to be pushed on, and we expect maybe after the festive season is over, another price hikes will be needed, to pass on those inflation pressure. Unfortunately, inflation continues even in this quarters. We're not seeing that ending soon. So some pressure still remains. Because intensity has come down, but the pressure still remains. So that's, I think, one sort of worry for both the sectors. I think all three sectors in which we are present, railway, construction, as well as in the tractor business. So, but yes, there's another price increase which we feel should happen now, by the end of the festive season again. For this on.
Okay. Just one final question. Would you, change your full year guidance for the tractor industry as well as for your own company? If yes, given the kind of erratic monsoon and the pressure that we've seen, what would the full year guidance stand at now?
So I think the industry likely to be flat, maybe 2-3% here and there, can be plus or minus both. So as of now, since we already seen, I think the first 7 months of this year now has seen marginal growth because of the first quarter, which is base was virtually low, so to say 37% growth in industry. So which means the balance of the months where the base is high may remain under pressure, maybe flattest, maybe marginal degrowth existing in this month also. It's about 1% degrowth and 3% domestic side. So I think it will remain that way. But since we already got a very good base, so even if you end with the flat industry, also will be a very good year for the industry.
Okay, all right. Mr. Madan, we'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining us and giving us your views. That's the word coming in from Escorts. By the way, the market right now is holding on to its gains, so 100 points higher. It hasn't given